Hi there, yes, so I'd like to talk to you about the intermittent fasting styles. So my question to you is, what intermittent fasting style suits you? So in this section I'm going to talk about the 7 styles and what each style represents and who it suits and what are the benefits. So first of all, I'd like to introduce them. So we've got the 12-12, we've got the 14-10, the 16-8, we've got the 18-6, the 24, the 5-2 and the eat, stop, eat. This will all make sense to you once we go through the slides. So on the 12-12, this is the easiest way to start, and basically it just means that you need to cut out any evening snacks that you're having. So for example, you might have your dinner about 7 o'clock, then don't have anything else to eat then until 7 o'clock the next morning. So that's 12 hours. And that means that in that 12 hours that you're not eating, obviously probably 8 of those you're going to be sleeping, but the first 4 hours will be spent digesting your food, and then the next 8 hours your liver starts to cleanse and your body goes into a fasting mode. So by the time you wake up at, to have your breakfast at 7, you're already fasting, you're already having some of the benefits that it will bring. Now, I would definitely recommend the 12-12 to people who are perhaps suffering a lot with energy issues such as adrenal fatigue, thyroid issues, and also for women going through the menopause, as these all tend to be quite taxing to the body. So actually we need to get you to resolve some of those issues first before we can push on to some of the other intermittent fasting styles. And also any women that are experiencing particularly heavy menstrual loss and heavy menstruation, etc. That really is something that I would suggest to stick at the 12-12 until those issues are resolved. And you will still feel the benefits, however, of having the fasting for 12 hours. Now, moving on to the second style, which is the 14-10. This is really good for those people who have a busy life in terms of going to work and working quite long hours, but still like to have breakfast and dinner. So what this means is that you can just elongate the morning fasting. So when you get up, just take breakfast to work with you, but just make sure that you have relaxing environment when you have your breakfast at work, just for all the reasons of good digestion. And but it means that maybe if you have your breakfast at say 9 or 10 o'clock, it means then you can have dinner around about 7 or 8. So if you are commuting and you need that extra time to come back and you want to eat with the family, it's a really good style as well, but you're going to get the extra couple of hours from the 12-12 to make sure you get more benefits from the fasting period. This is especially good for active, healthy women as well. So so this is the one I'd recommend for is the 14-10. Moving on to the 16-8. Now this is a really flexible eating and fasting pattern. Basically with this one, if you already don't have breakfast and you don't really eat till lunchtime, then that's great, because then you can start this one at 12 or 1 o'clock and you can have it right the way through till 8 or 9 o'clock. So if you like to have lunch but then you like to eat late as well, then the 16-8 is a really good one in terms of its flexibility, because obviously you've got less of an eating window, more of a fasting window, so therefore the eating window becomes more flexible. Now, this is a style that you could possibly try 2 or 3 times a week to start with to see how you get on, and then increase it and then make it part of your protocol moving forward. It is best for men who are relatively active, are keen to get fit and healthy, but also who want to lose a bit of weight and improve their energy levels, and also it will help you improve your physical and your cognitive performance. It is popularly known as the lean gains, and it is the most popular way to intermittent fast, particularly for men. So if you like the flexibility of intermittent fasting, that's the one I would recommend. Now, moving on to the next intermittent fasting style is I've put these two together on this slide, is the 18-6 and the 24, because they're very similar in terms of their time constraints. This is best for healthier men who want to achieve peak maximum physical and mental performance. This is known as the warrior diet, and it was first noticed from a soldier who was in the army who would often be on exercise, and he found that if he was snacking throughout the day, his energy levels and his focus and his mental clarity was subdued. It wasn't as good as when he just had one meal in the evening after he'd finished all the exercise for the day. He'd have one meal, and then the following day he'd go out and his concentration levels, his energy was far better when he had the one meal a day rather than having snacks throughout the day. So this also for your anybody who's in a high energy job where they need to be mentally sharp and also physically sharp. This is a really good style that can easily fit into your eating lifestyle. So again, that's just remember it's one big meal, or you can have enough calories that you need for the day over a 4 to 6 hour period, and that can be in smaller meals and snacks during that period. Okay, moving on to the next slide is the popular 5-2. This is possibly the one that most people have heard of. This involves 5 days of normal eating followed by 2 unconsecutive days of low calories. So that's usually around about 500 calories for women, 600 calories for men. This is a really good program for losing weight. It's very good for increasing energy levels as well. The one thing I would recommend is that on the days that you do have lower calories, so the 2 unconsecutive days that you have that, I would recommend having one meal of 500 or 600 calories towards the end of the day, rather than having it spread out throughout the day. Therefore, you get more benefit from the actual fasting process. Okay, and the last one I'd like to talk about is the 24-hour fast. This is known as the Eat, Stop, Eat. Again, this is quite simple to understand. This is something you might want to try once you're into intermittent fasting. So maybe you're already doing the 14-10 or the 16-8 and you want to throw in the occasional 24-hour fast. This might well be for religious purposes as well. I think it's a wonderful way to do it. It involves eating your last meal, say 7, 8 o'clock in the evening, and then, like it says, 24-hour break, and then you eat again the following evening. Just a small note here is just to make sure that when you do break the fast after the 24 hours, your digestion won't be ready for a big meal. Okay, so a small to medium-sized meal is ideal, and then back to normal eating after that. Just want to a couple of do's and don'ts. Definitely no food allowed during the fasting period. As soon as you eat, you'll start the process of digestion again. Therefore, you'll start to produce insulin back into your blood to help deal with the blood sugar that's coming from, the sugar from the food. I would also recommend drinking lots of water during the fasting period. If you like to have tea or coffee, that's fine, just no sugar or milk. And other non-calorific beverages such as herbal drinks, etc. are fine, but just don't add any honey or lemon or things like that, because that will add calories which will bring you out of the fast. Other notes I've put on here for you to what to expect. Definitely you will feel hunger or hungry during the first 5 to 7 days, especially as you adapt to skipping breakfast. If this is something that's new to you, skipping breakfast, then obviously you will get hungry. But these symptoms will subside. It's different for everyone, but roughly around about 5 to 7 days, you'll start to feel better. Hydration, again, you will tend to want to drink more water when you're fasting. This is completely normal, so make sure that you do drink lots of water while you're fasting. Dizziness, when people start, they can often feel a bit dizzy because of not eating. Just make sure you take little steps towards it. So if you're doing a 12-12 to start, maybe do a 13-11, then try a 14-10 and slowly make your way. You might do it that way, or you might already be skipping breakfast and this won't affect you. But if it does, it's a little bit like the hunger. It takes a few days. Once your body adjusts, it becomes normal, then you won't feel dizzy and you won't feel hungry either. On a positive note, you will feel an increase in your energy level for sure. After the first few days, you will notice that. And also you will notice better mental clarity, focus and concentration, and that usually elevates more once the hunger and the dizziness dissipate. So, yeah, that's just finished there because we can edit that bit.